Oh my god. Do I look crazy? Probably. I didn't really sleep. I'm not really that tired. I have this strange desire to go buy Pokemon cards. I used to collect Pokemon cards when I was younger, and I found my binder of Pokemon cards, and I actually have like one Pokemon card. It's a holographic Gengar, and I looked it up, and like a PSA 10 of that card is like $10,000. Mine definitely is not a PSA 10. I took really good care of my cards, but I did play with them, and it's nothing crazy. Like, it's not bent or like damaged like that. It's just like the holographic, like if you like really look at it, there's like some like scratches, and I looked it up, like the holographics like are really easy to scratch, and when you look at it, it doesn't even look scratched. It's just like if you really like look at it, there's like micro scratches. And from what I've seen online, like these like card grading companies, like they go hard. Like even if you like pull it straight out of the pack and send it in, like they'll still like give it like a 9 or something. But I don't know, like I was watching like people open Pokemon cards, and I like got this strange desire to also do it, especially after looking at my old Pokemon cards. So I might do that, but I literally just took out my contacts, and then if I wanted to go, I'd put them back in because I don't want to wear my glasses. Oh my god, sorry. And I've been editing like my next YouTube video, and like it's me like cooking my signature lasagna, and I literally have like a double chin like the whole time. And it's making me not want to edit because I'm like, ew. I literally have a double chin the whole time. So yeah. Do I have anything exciting coming up? Not really. This Saturday, I'm driving my mom into DC because that's when her flower arrangement class that me and my dad got her for her birthday is. So afterwards, I'll probably eat somewhere in DC. So that's exciting, I guess. I'm always down to eat. And I still want to see, I might do that today actually. I still want to see the new A24 horror movie Undertones. Oh gosh, sorry. What I'm seeing online, everyone says it's really scary. And yeah. What else? I want to continue my Resident Evil 2 playthrough. I just sometimes like don't want to play because like obviously like I'm filming a playthrough, so I have to like talk. I can't just like sit there in silence and play. And it always just like comes out like once I start playing, I just start like, you know, I'm just in the game and I start like just talking. So it's like not something that I force myself to do. It's just like, I don't know. Do you ever feel like you just like build it up in your mind? You're like, ugh, actually, like, I don't want to do that. It's like, I want to do it, but I also don't want to do it. Yeah, I've been watching, Cortis, the K-pop groups. They have like, they do like a bunch of vlogs like on their YouTube channel. They're funny. James is so cute. I just watched the vlog where they're in New York, and I can tell he really liked New York, and that just made me like him more. because I love New York. Well, kind of a love-hate relationship nowadays. I mean, I've lived there for 10 years, but overall I like it. I think I've just been living in a not cute neighborhood for the past, how many years? Maybe 3 or 4 years. I just need to live in a cuter neighborhood. Like, I was living in the ghetto. Like, there were drug dealers on my block, and it was not a vibe at all. But I was just living there because it was cheap, and it was like kind of near my school. But like, honestly, it wasn't even that convenient. Like, the thing in New York is like, it can be close in terms of like miles, but it can still take you forever to get there. And in terms of where I was living in my school, it looks close on the map, and it isn't that far distance wise. It's just the trains like were terrible. And I was like, my main train was the 1 train, which was just like, first of all, local. Second of all, like one of the like original, it's like one of the oldest like subway trains in the city, and it just like was so inconvenient all the time. There was just always something wrong with it all the time. So yeah. Yeah, I think I will go to Target and like see if they have Pokemon cards. I really don't know how popular Pokemon is in my town, but I have a feeling it probably won't be the easiest thing to find. And I'm not trying to like spend like $60 on like a booster box or something. Like, I'm down to just get like a couple packs and see if I could score a $600 card. That would be pretty fucking lit. So yeah. I'll see you then. If I end up going. I'm probably gonna go. I'm just like lazy and like I haven't slept. But yeah. Okay. In the last clip I fell asleep. So now I'm going to Target to see if they have Pokemon cards. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I just felt like it. And I feel like Target will have some. And if there isn't any at Target, then I guess it just wasn't meant to be. But yeah, this is what I'm wearing. This shirt I wore on my birthday dinner, one of my birthday dinners. And it's so cute. It's a baby tee. It has a little lamb on it. And it says, "Who want me?" And I'm wearing my hat that says "Looking for trouble." I'm wearing a lot of text because we're at a reading deficit in America. No one's reading anymore, so I'm trying to help. I don't see any cards. But I did find Beyblades, bro. I used to play Beyblades all the time as a kid. Okay, they literally had 0 Pokemon cards. Which is surprising. I mean, they had like 1 pack, and it's like those like fake packs, or like those like weird ass like random ass packs, or weren't like sets. They had mad Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I wish Yu-Gi-Oh cards were as sought after, because I have a lot of my old Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. I don't know. I kind of want to go to Walmart now, just like, I don't know, see. There's a Books A Million in this shopping center. And I don't know if they sell Pokemon cards at Books A Million, but I also just like going to a bookstore, so I'm just gonna go there and look around. These are amazing books. So good. That one was okay. This one was weird. I liked this one. Underrated. Really good. Overrated. Surprisingly, so sad. What the heck? Underrated. Overrated. High school read. Hated it. It was okay. Read this for a book report in the 8th grade. It was pretty good, I remember. Obviously, amazing, iconic. I mean, literally so iconic. I only read the first Dune. I don't know, I just didn't really feel like reading the other ones. Oh my god, I loved these books in high school. I actually liked the ending. Everyone didn't like the ending of Allegiant. I liked it. I've always wanted to read her poetry. One of my favorite poems is by her. It's 25 bucks. I loved these as a kid. Such a good story. Wow, they turned it into a manga. Very beautiful. Why do I want to read this? It's literally about polyamory. It looks cute. Read these back in November. Crazy, crazy stuff. It's not returnable?
It's on sale. Ow. How many cubes later? Okay.
Oh, those are cute.
I think it will fit me. This is the last size.
How much were they?
Ooh, I saw her. Oh my gosh. I said right now. Oh, that's so sweet. Ouch. Just. And then she was, it's like, need a padding or socks. Ow.
Okay, so as you saw, I didn't get any Pokemon cards. I might go to Walmart tomorrow because I think I saw some there. I don't know when I saw them there. But maybe they'll be there. But I'll show you some of my old Pokemon cards. So this card, literally, I looked up PSA 10. Like, they're like $10,000. Mine is definitely not a PSA 10. I mean, I took pretty good care of my cards when I was a kid. But I did play with them. So, like, it looks like... Oops. It looks like... Not... I'm trying to get it to focus. Like, from the naked eye, it doesn't... I mean, I guess there are some, like, yellowing and, like, yeah, actually, it's, like... It's definitely not a PSA 10, but... That's kind of cool that this is a very expensive card and can it focus? Bro. It's an expensive card. I don't know, it probably will get like, I don't know, like a 7 or an 8. I might still like send it in because I've never sent in cards for grading. I just think it would be cool. But yeah, this is my most expensive card. Let me put this down. But then I've also saw that these two, especially the Tyranitar, I saw that this one is also pretty expensive, and it's like a special one in the set because it has the H, the number. I also played with this, so let's see what it is. And as you can see, I don't even have like sleeves on them. Like when I was a kid, I didn't even know sleeves were a thing. This one actually might look a little better. I say for like me being a child, they look pretty good. Let me look at it 1 second. Okay, yeah, that one looks pretty good. It does still have some, it does have whitening on the corner, but I don't know. I can see this one getting like a solid 9, maybe. I really have no experience in grading cards, so this is just me going off of the knowledge I see of watching a bunch of people's PSA submission videos. And then this is another one that's like special in the set. It also has the H31. This one isn't as expensive because I guess Vileplume isn't as popular, but Vileplume's my favorite Pokemon, actually. I just think it's really cool. I've always loved grass types since I was a kid. Whenever my first Pokemon game was Sapphire, I think I chose Trico. Did I choose Trico? Because I also have like a memory of me like having Mudkip. I don't know. But yeah, I like for OG starters, like I think Bulbasaur is probably like the least popular of the OG trio, but Bulbasaur is my favorite. I always chose Bulbasaur, and I am a fan of Totodile. I think for is that Gen 3 or Gen 2? That was Gen 2. I think I love Totodile also, but I love Chikorita way more. Like as a kid, I thought Chikorita was the cutest freaking thing ever. And in terms of like final evolutions, I personally love Meganium more than Feraligatr. Like if I had a Totodile, I would just give it an Everstone because I did not want it to evolve. But as much as I love Chikorita, I do like Meganium, so I did not mind it evolving. But this one's, I might just grade this one personally because I just love, like I said, Vileplume's my favorite Pokemon. So yeah, those are like the 3 that I think I've looked up that are like kind of have any actual worth. And then I have, I love Walrein also. I remember in my playthrough of Sapphire, I had a level 100 Walrein. Just like a legit tank, bro. Like Walrein is a freaking, I mean, like look at him. But I also just love it because I love Spheal. Like Spheal is also one of the cute, I definitely have a Spheal. Where's my Spheal? Oh, here. Spheal is also like the cutest freaking Pokemon. I was obsessed with Spheal. And yes, obviously Walrein wasn't as cute, but I don't know. It just evolved and it was legit like my tank. I have this holographic Jirachi, but I think I looked up, this isn't as expensive, which I'm surprised because I thought Jirachi was like a pretty like fan favorite legendary. I mean, like just look at him. He's like so cute and he literally grants wishes. The Jirachi movie was actually like, I really like that movie. I think May gets the Jirachi and like it keeps granting her wishes, but the wishes all kind of are a bit off. It's kind of like Pokemon's take on like the genie, like you can wish, but unless you're like super specific, like the wish is kind of up for interpretation. I thought that was funny. But yeah, none of the other ones seem like they were that expensive, at least for what I looked up. But I might just send them in just to like for shits and gigs. Like I've never done a PSA submission. I have my like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. When I got like a little bit older, I ended up liking Yu-Gi-Oh cards better just because I thought they were cooler. Wadapon, this is, you got this from the Yu-Gi-Oh movie. Like, they gave out cards, and I wanted Wadapons again because it was so freaking cute. And I have some, I think these are like OG. Are these like OG Toon monsters from like, I also love Toon monsters just because they were so cute. Or Red Eyes Black Dragon. Again, my Yu-Gi-Oh cards are definitely not mint condition because I played way more Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid. I just collected the Pokemon cards. I played a little, but I was way more into playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Yo, I used to love Perfect Ultimate Great Moth. Like, I love this card even though it's like impossible to summon. But I also liked, I loved the insects, like Weevil, like, I thought they were so cool. Again, this card is like impossible to use because you need to like tribute a monster every time. Tribute an insect monster every time you want to attack. And it literally only has 2,200 attack. For Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth for the time, 3,500 was like a lot. But granted, again, this is like an impossible monster to summon. But yeah, here's some. I have a Blackluster Soldier. Oh, I have a Dark Magician. I don't even know like what set these are from. Oh, and these are another cards that you got from watching the movie they gave out like during the movie, which I thought was so cool. I wish I had like, I definitely have more like Pokemon cards and stuff. I think like, I don't know, I've definitely like lost some. Actually, I also, Thousand Eye Restrict, I love that card. Actually, these were like, I have these cards too. But when I was a kid, I like taped them to the inside of my binder. So for a lot of them, I was able to like take off the tape without seeing much damage. But if you look closely, you still see like tape marks, and obviously like look, you see there. But I'm glad I saved most of them from like actually real damage. Obviously, if I send them into PSA, they would not grade well. But these were like cool. Like I don't even know what these were or where they came from. But yeah, my Pokemon card. I hope this one's also kind of expensive. Not really, actually, because it's the reverse holo. But I found out that like the reverse holos aren't as expensive as like the actual holos where the actual art is holographic. Which sometimes like I honestly think the reverse holos like look nicer. Like, where's that? I have a Kingdra. Like I love that look of that Kingdra. Like it's the whole, like more of the card is shiny when you like think about it. Like Beautifly, like it makes me kind of sad sometimes when like now, especially in like modern day Pokemon, where people collecting like they don't like, you don't really like, people don't care about like the commons, and it makes me sad to think most of the commons are just like thrown away or like they don't care about them. Because at the end of the day, like I just think like what drew me to like, you know, collecting cards and Pokemon cards, and I think what most people is the art is so cute. Like it's so beautiful, and I just love, as a kid I just like loved seeing like a page full of my cards. And it sucks that nowadays like everyone is just like chasing the like expensive cards. For like all they care about is like the money or whatever. But like, you know, at the bottom of each card it like has, oh yeah, it has like the name of like the illustrator. Like this is like their work. I think it's like a bit sad to think most people are not even appreciating the art, because especially because like these are all, you know, like you're seeing these Pokemon in these like pictures, and like this never shows up in like the manga or the show, the anime. Like these are all like basically like unique images, official images of these Pokemon, and I think it's just like so beautiful. Especially when I was like in the height of my like Pokemon phase, which by the way, my Pokemon phase was like basically more than half of my life. I think the last Pokemon game I actually played like to completion was like Sword and Did I even play Sword and Shield? No, I don't. What was the one before it? It was like the... Oh my god, I don't even remember the name. I have it. It was for the 3DS. It's like one of the ones for the 3DS. And now I have not played like any of the new Pokemon games. I mean, I've literally been like grinding in fucking medical school. Like my life depended on it. I don't know. Should I play? Then I saw they announced the new one. Like, was it like Wind and Waves or whatever? But yeah. I know, that's why, like, I kind of want to collect Pokemon cards again, just because it's, like, I don't know. There's, like, joy in collecting, and, like I said, like, even now, like, I just, like, love looking at, like, a page full of, like, all these little artworks. So, we'll see. Again, I don't know most of the new Pokemon. There's already, I'm pretty sure there's, like... I'm like 5 or 6 generations behind, which in Pokemon, that's like what, over like 1,000 Pokemon I have no idea about. Like, thinking back in the day, like, I could name every single Pokemon for like how many generations? Maybe like 6 or 7 generations or something. I knew like every single Pokemon. That's what my brain deemed important, not freaking biology, which is like what I was needing at the time. Like, I mean, yeah. So yeah, these two cards. I don't know. I might just send these 2 cards and then this Where's the Gengar? Like, I don't know why this Mew is not, because it's the reverse holo. I just still think it's a beautiful card. Like. And this Mew's like a very popular Pokemon. This one, because this is like, in theory, the most expensive, but again, like, it is not in pristine condition. But I'm still giving myself credit as a child. Like, this card is like, what, this card was printed in 2002. Okay, like, I took as good care of my cards as I thought I was. Girl, I did not know any of this would cost any kind of money. But yeah. So I low-key just want to like start a new binder and like just have fun. And which is hard because the Pokemon now is like expensive. Like, bro, I'm sure when I was buying these packs, like what, like, I can't even imagine how much these packs were. Like, what, maybe like $3-4? I don't know. But yeah. I think it would be fun. And so yeah, I said like these packs are expensive nowadays. So when I say like, oh, I want to get back into Pokemon, I want to collect, I would literally just buy like 1 or 2 packs, like just for shits and gigs. And sometimes, like most things in life, you just need one. You just need that one pack. But yeah, I do not have the cash to be buying cases. Which, by the way, like I was watching Rhyme Style. He bought a case of EBTs, which are, I forgot what they stand for, but they're just like the box sets, and they come with like the promo. He bought a case of them, and I think in the case comes like 8 tins, boxes, and I think he said that was like $1,200. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, it's crazy the fact that this started as like a kid's game, and like now, like, I think mostly adults are buying them. Which again, because it's like, oh, like to chase the expensive cards, which, you know, is like, you can debate nowadays as like, oh, you know, is that like, not moral, but you know what I mean? It's like, ugh, like this is a kid's game. Like it's already like kind of like what parent is gonna buy their child like these cards when they're so expensive? I mean, like obviously there's some parents, but like, you know, when I was a kid, it's like, bro, everyone had Pokemon cards because they were accessible and they were fun. So it just kind of makes me sad now that it's like kids aren't playing with these because they're expensive. And when it's like, oh, like you don't want to damage the card, it's like, Bro, they were made to be played with. Well, originally they were made to be played with. So yeah. If I buy cards, I'll obviously show you guys. Is this zoomed in? Okay, it was kind of zoomed in. I'm gonna read. I've been slacking on my reading game. I don't know, I just like haven't been into it. And I do like this book. It's just with most classic literature, it's like a little slow. And I don't really know fully exactly like what the main plot is. All I know is like Dorian, he's young, he's beautiful, he's low-key being corrupted by Lord Harry, who's like kind of like instilling a lot of these like ideas in him that like his youth is fleeting, and like if he's like once his beauty fades, like life's over, and like all that shit. So there's that happening, and he's like kind of stole Dorian away from his friend Basil. And at the beginning of the book, when like Basil introduces Dorian, he tells Lord Harry like, I actually wish like I never introduced you to, like, please don't corrupt him. And that's kind of exactly what happens. So that's what's happening. I'm just and it's like, as you can see, it's like not that long of a book. Like what, like 150 pages, 135, so not really far at all. But I want to be more consistent. One, because I love reading. Sometimes it's just like, you know, like it's so much easier to just like put on American Dad, which I also have been loving, like, which is some would consider like brain rot compared to this, but there's some like, you know, like there's some smart humor in like Family Guy and American Dad, like I would argue, but like Roger it is so funny. Holy shit. Like I don't know, like Seth MacFarlane, as far as I know, he's like a straight man, but like he just knows how to make the funniest gay character, like in Family Stewie. Like my favorite character in Family Guy, Stewie's hilarious. Roger, my favorite character in Family Guy, is hilarious, and both are like gay. Like I like, you know, if you watch the show, you know, like they're like gay. They're like gay men, basically. Roger's obviously an alien, but he's like a male alien. So yeah, I'm gonna read, because also when I went to the bookstore today, I was like, oh my god, I want more books. And I have like this whole stack of books that I still need to get through. But I am in the firm believer that like sometimes a book really just needs to like sit on your shelf for years until you're ready for it, and you never know when you're ready. It just like hits you and you're like, I'm gonna read that. Because it's happened to me multiple times. Like, for example, Lord of the Rings. My mom bought me that copy of Lord of the Rings when I was like literally a freshman in college, which was 2015, 2016, and I just read it November 2025. Literally 10 years after she bought it for me. And it was great. And I just needed the time and like the space to read it, and it was great. What else? That also happened to me when sophomore year of high school. It was in world literature, and each like each like section of the class, we like focused on literature from like a different continent. And so for my and then we'd have to read a book from an author from that continent or like language, and then do a book report on it. And then for the like South American or like Spanish or Latin American one, I chose Love in the Time of Cholera by Marquez. Read the first 10 pages and I was like, I'm gonna SparkNote this. And then literally after college, I was like applying to jobs, and I like found it, and I was like, maybe I should read this. And I read it again, like what, like literally 8 years later. That one wasn't my favorite. As you guys saw, like I found in the classic literary section at the bookstore, there was a copy of Love in the Time of Cholera, and I was like, I don't know. People praise Marquez because he's like the master of magical realism, which I still don't really know like what that means, like what magical realism is. Because to me, I think people try to explain it to me like it's just like the stories like about like real things like that happen in like every day, like it's like a normal story, but there's like hints or like little blurbs of like fantasy in it or like magic in it. And I read Love in the Time of Cholera, and I guess I saw like I don't even remember like what the magic parts of the book were, I guess, but I do remember reading it and being like, oh, okay, so they just mentioned that little thing there that like is like magical or like just is like fiction, is like fantasy-esque. But yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan. I think obviously everyone, his most famous is what is it, 1,000 Years of Solitude, 10,000 Years of Solitude, or something like that, which I've heard great things about. But and I also read, which you also saw at the bookstore, it was a novella which was like Story of a Murder Foretold, which I actually liked way better than Love in the Time of Cholera. It was way more engaging. It was like it was like cool. It was cool. Again, I guess I saw like the bits of like magic in it. Again, I don't remember specifically what, but like yeah, magical realism, like not really my favorite. What's another example of a book I just like had for like a million years and then like decided to read out of the blue? I just read back in January, Far from the Maddening Crowd, by Thomas Hardy. I bought that copy like kind of right off the heels of me reading Tess of the D'Urbervilles, which I'm sure I've like talked about because I always talk about the book, like just really impacted me when I read it. It quickly became like my favorite book ever. And then obviously I saw this copy in the bookstore for like $5, and it's like a really nice hardcover with like embossed, is that what it's called? Or like the edges of the book, they're like silver. I think that's called embossing, right? And it was $5 at the books, like at not a used bookstore. It was like at my Books A Million for like $5 on sale. So I bought it. Also, just like had that laying around, and then I read it in January, maybe like definitely like 4 or 5 years after buying it. And Thomas Hardy has solidified himself as probably my favorite author. I've only read 2 of his books, but both books like 10. I plan to read more of him because I just love his style of writing. I love the depth of emotion in his characters. I love how he builds the characters, builds the plot, builds the scenery, which again I think is like classic novels really are beautiful in how they talk about the scenery. Usually they are, you know, very like nature focused, at least the ones I've read. Obviously there's a lot of classic literature that are set in like London and big cities and stuff like that. But I think they just, how they describe like valleys and plains and like moors, it's like, it's amazing. So I love Thomas Hardy. I think his story and like his personal life is very interesting. I actually want to, along with reading his novels, I want to know more about him. I know a little bit from what I've read online. He was an architect by trade, and then he started dabbling in writing. He wanted to be a poet, and he started writing books. And actually, Far from the Madding Crowd was his first like real like hit, and it's kind of it was the novel that allowed him to leave architecture and become a full-fledged author. And Far from the Madding Crowd is, like I said, is one of his first novels. One of the first. It wasn't his first novel. It's like, it was maybe his like third or something. So it was very early on in his writing career. And Tess of the D'Urbervilles, which is arguably his most famous novel, was his like third to last book he wrote. After he wrote his last book, which was called Jude the Obscure, he gave up writing novels and fully went into becoming a poet and writing poetry, because his novels near the end of his novel writing career, they were getting so much like pushback, or basically the Victorian readers, the public that were reading these books, like were outraged because they were so like controversial, or just so like obscene, or so just like offensive to like the people, that he just gave up writing novels after that and fully went to poetry. But I think it's interesting because I read Tess of the D'Urbervilles first, which, like I said, is like his third to last book, and then I just read Far from the Maddening Crowd, which is one of his first novels. And what I've seen is like those, like Tess of the D'Urbervilles is his most famous, and Far from the Maddening Crowd is his like second most famous. And they're basically like kind of like almost like act as like bookends to his like novel writing career. And you can see the stark difference in the stories in terms of like the tone and the ending. And I found it so interesting because I read, like, not to spoil too much, but I read Tess of the D'Urbervilles, and it's like a sad story. It's a very sad story. There's like glimpses of like beauty in it, obviously, but overall it's not necessarily like a pick-me-up. And then I read Far from the Madding Crowd, and again, not to spoil anything, it's like a pleasant story. There's obviously like like points of strife and sad parts in it, but like overall it's like a happy story and a happy ending. And I found that so interesting because I was like, what? This is... I just assumed like all his books were like tragic, right? And then I started researching, and basically, as I think most artists and most writers, a lot of their work is reflective on like their own life views or personal views on life and personal experiences. And I was reading that basically, he started off a very like optimistic person. I think that a lot of people do. And he lived through basically the Industrial Revolution. And he saw the destruction, kind of, not the destruction, but just like the vast difference of the world he grew up in and then the world he found himself inhabiting in his later years. And it really like soured his view on humanity and people's intentions and people's lives. And while the I'm sure a lot of people have learned about the Industrial Revolution, it's like a big part of history, and at least in the curriculum, I guess, in America. I mean, I can't speak for the whole country of America, but at least where I grew up, I learned about the Industrial Revolution when I was growing up in history class. And while it was obviously a big time for like science and technology, there was a boom in that industry and revolutionizing things. In everything in life, there's like a trade-off. So he kind of saw the destruction of the villages that he grew up in, which served as like communities, and where everyone kind of worked together, and everyone kind of you know, was like, to simplify, like kind of nice, I guess. Like they were nice communities that people knew each other, depended on each other, helped each other. And then with the, you know, the rise of like big cities, industrial revolution, everything just became so bleak. And obviously with, you know, things industrializing, then the safety of like factory workers was abysmal. The child labor was like on the rise. And that reflected in his work in terms of like his characters and what they went through and how they kind of ended up. So yeah, I want to read more of his work. I want to read a couple more of his early work where he was like still very like optimistic and happy and romantic. And then obviously I want to read his later books where he's I guess controversial and definitely more like glass half empty, I guess. Like I said, like his later books, which were like Tessa the D'Urbervilles, The Mayor of Casterbury, and Jude the Obscure, were his last 3 novels, and those like gained so much like, I wouldn't say hate, but like I guess hate, yeah, like pushback from readers because it was so like disturbing and sad and like, you know, like controversial in terms of like these like characters and like who they were and what they were going through was like so like shocking, you know. So yeah, that's my, like, as you can see, like I love Thomas Hardy, so I want to do more. So anyways, I'm gonna get to reading and my battery's gonna die.